Hello everyone, welcome to 8085 microprocessor lecture series. So today we'll be doing this 8085 programming model. We'll see this. In the previous lectures we saw the basics of a microprocessor and computer systems. So we'll be concentrating on 8085 programming model, 8085 systems. So this is a block diagram of a 8085 system, you can say. Here we see this is the accumulator. Accumulator is also called as register A. It is a very important register of 8085. We'll see it afterwards. Then we have another thing, another part is the arithmetic logic unit. This unit is responsible for performing all the arithmetic logic operations. Then we have flags. We'll be seeing flag afterwards. So then we have the instruction decoder. The instruction decoder is responsible for decoding the instructions. Whatever instructions we are giving to the microprocessor, they are decoded by the instruction decoder, and then the microprocessor know what to be done. Then we have a register array. Registers, they are the fastest available memory. So we in case of microprocessor there are a number of registers, not a single registers. We have a number of registers. Then we have memory pointer registers. So because memory is outside the microprocessor, so we need to point to the memory location. So this memory pointer registers points to the memory locations. So if you want to communicate with the memory, we use this memory pointer registers. Then we have the timing and control unit. Timing and control unit is used for providing the necessary timing and control signals. So here also we have this address bus. The address bus is of 16-bit. We'll be learning more in the next lectures. And this is a 8-bit data bus. This bus actually is a collection of wires, as we know. So in microprocessor 8085 we have 16-bit address bus and 8-bit data bus, and then we have some control signals which are used to provide the necessary timing and control signals. So this diagram represents the programming model of 8085. Previous it defined the hardware model. So here we see what are the various registers of 8085. So the first is this register A, okay, which is also called as the accumulator. So this number 8 represents that the register A is of 8 bits. It can store we can store 8 bit of data in register A. Register A is a very important register because it is a part of arithmetic logic unit. Almost all the arithmetic logic unit, all the arithmetic logic operations are done with register 1, A being one of the register. Then apart from this we have other registers which I am marking now. Register B, then register C. This is register B, which is 8-bit. Register C, then D, E, H, L. These are the 6 registers which are also called as general purpose registers. All these registers are of 8-bit. They can act individually and can store 8-bit data and can be used with A to perform any arithmetic logic unit, any arithmetic logic function. Now in some special operations we have register pairs. So there are 3 register pairs. Register BC, it forms a register pair making a 16-bit. Then DE is another register pair and HL is another register pair. So we have 3 register pairs. We will see some operations, some special operations where these 2 registers, these pairs, they are acting as register pairs. So these registers, they can be used to store the data. Okay. Then we have a flag register. We will study in the next slide about the flags, various flag registers. Apart from this, we have a stack pointer register. This register is of 16-bit. Okay. What is the use of this stack pointer is that sometimes in some particular program we need to store the data temporarily to some memory location. So that memory location is actually called as a stack. So where the stack will start, this is given by the stack pointer register. So stack pointer register, it points to the memory location where the stack starts and where we can store the data temporarily. Okay. Then we have the program counter register, PC, which is called. It is 16-bit. So the name program counter doesn't mean that it is counting the program. It is not so. Okay. Program counter register is a 16-bit register, and we can say actually it is guiding the processor from where to get the next instruction. Like suppose if we are writing a program, suppose I'm just this line, suppose it represents the instructions. There are many number of instructions. So when we start the operation, when we execute the this particular program, this program contains so many number of instructions. So the processor starts from this very first instruction. So when the processor is executing the first instruction, the program counter, it points to this is where the program counter will point the next instruction. So when the computer, when the microprocessor, it comes to the second instruction, the program counter will point to the third instruction. Okay, so in other way we can say the program counter is guiding the microprocessor from where to get the next instruction. So this is the use of program counter. Then here we have the data bus, okay, which is of 8 lines. It is bidirectional. And we have the address bus, which is actually unidirectional and 16 lines. We will study in more detail in the next chapter. Okay. So now we come to the flag register. As we see, flag register is a 8-bit register. Okay, and you can see here there are 5 flags. Okay, so this is a CY means a carry flag, P is the parity flag, AC is the auxiliary carry flag, Z is the zero flag, and S is the sign flag. Now there are some gaps left. This bits, they don't have any use in 8085. Okay, so the 3 are not used. Okay? So we have carry flag. These flags, what are the use of these flags? These flags are used for checking the conditions. Okay? Like for example, the carry flag, the first D0 bit. So we have D0, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, and D7. There are 8 bits. So the first is the carry, CY. So carry flag is set. It may be set, it may be reset. So carry flag is set. It means set means it is 1. Okay. When a carry is generated in any arithmetic operation. Okay. When carry is generated in arithmetic operation. If there is no carry generated, it remains 0. And when we are doing subtraction, so if a borrow is generated, then carry flag acts as a borrow flag. So this is regarding the carry flag. Okay. We'll see with one example also. Now next is the parity flag. Okay, so parity flag. Okay, so parity can be even, parity can be odd. So if after doing any arithmetic logic operation, if the result contains even number of ones, okay, after doing any arithmetic or logic operation, if the result contains even number of ones, so parity flag is set, it becomes 1. And if it contains odd number, then the parity is 0. Okay, then we have the auxiliary carry flag, okay, which is called as AC flag. So AC flag, suppose we are doing some addition, okay, when we are performing any addition and a carry is passed from D3 bit to D4 bit. Okay, we'll see with example. If the carry is generated by D3 bit and passed to D4 bit, then this auxiliary carry is set, otherwise it is reset. Then next is the zero flag. So when we are doing any arithmetic logic operation, if the result is 0, then zero flag is set, otherwise it is reset. Then the sign flag, when we are doing any arithmetic logic operation, if the D7 bit, if the leftmost bit, if it is 0, this is 0. If it is 1, then this sign flag is 1. Let us see with one examples. Okay, we'll take one example where we are adding 2 numbers. Okay, and then let us see what are the flag status. Okay, so we are concerned with this 5 flags. Okay. What are the flag status when we are doing any of the operation, logic or arithmetic operation? We will see one arithmetic addition. So initially all the flags are reset. Let us assume all the flags are reset. Okay, and these flags, they are not used, so I'm just putting a cross here. Now suppose we want to add 2 numbers. Let us add 2 numbers. So suppose one number is 9, 5, other is suppose 8, 7. Okay, we want to add these 2 numbers. Now this in case of 8085, we are using the hexadecimal numbers. Okay, so 9 means 1 0 0 1, 5 0 1 0 1. Then 8 is 1 0 0 0, and 7 is 0 1 1. Okay, so we'll add these 2 numbers and let us see what flag status we are getting. So after addition, if we add these numbers, okay, so 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1, then again 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1, okay, so we get this as 1, okay, and carry 1 will come here, so we get 1 here, then this 1, then 0, then 0, then 1 plus 1 0, and then a carry is 1, okay. So now let us see the flag status, okay. So what happens, here we are getting a carry. So here in this case, this is the D0 bit, this is the D1, this is D2, this is D3, this is D4, this is D5, D6, and this is D7 bit. So when a carry is generated by this final D7 bit, so this is so here this flag, this is 1, okay, this flag is set because a carry is generated here, okay. Now next, parity. So this result, whatever result we are seeing here, it contains 3 ones, and 3 is an odd number, okay. So because of which this particular flag is of course reset, because it is odd number of ones. Then auxiliary carry. Now when a carry is generated by this D3 column, okay, when a carry is generated by this D3 column and passed here, then this is set, otherwise it is reset. And we see, and in this case we see there is no carries passed, so this remains 0 only, okay. Now regarding the 0 flag, now this result, okay, this is not a 0 result, okay. So what result we are getting is 1 1 C, okay, 1 1 0, this is 1 1 0 0 is C, and 0 0 0 1 is 1. So answer is 1 C, which is not 0. So because the result is non-zero, so this is 0, okay. If the result is 0, then it is set. Now the sign flag, this sign flag, it reflects the condition on the D7 bit. So this D7, what we see, it is 0, okay. So because of which this sign flag is 0. So this is one of the example. We'll see one more example shortly after this, okay. Now let us take one more example. So these are the flag registers. Let us assume all the flags are reset, okay. So this red, whatever I've written red, they are the flag conditions before we perform any operations. So all the flags are reset, okay. Then in this yellow boxes, we will fill up what the flag status would be after we do this operation. So we are adding two numbers, 8A and 3B. So let us add. First we'll get the result after it. So we will see what we get after addition, okay. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1, so this one comes here. 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1, then again 1 plus 1 is 0 and a carry 1, then 1 plus 1 is 0, carry 1, this becomes 1, this becomes 1. So this is the result, this is the final result. So 8A, we have just written 8A, this is 8 means 1 0 0 0 is 8, and this is A, 1 0 1 0 is A. 0 0 1 1 is 3, and 1 0 0 1 1 is B. So this is what with the result we get. The answer is actually C5. So the result we get is C5. Now let us check the flag status, okay. So the flags, the carry flag. The carry flag, it depends on this particular bit. This is the D7 bit, okay. So D7 bit has not generated any carry, so this remains as it is. Then the number of ones. So here we see the number of ones in the result are 4, okay. There are 4 ones in the result, so even parity, so this becomes 1. Then auxiliary carry. So auxiliary carry is set when a carry is generated by D3. This is the D3 bit, okay. This D3 bit carry generates a carry and passes to D4. So here we see this is generating a carry, so this becomes 1. The result is not 0, so this is 0. And the sign flag is depends on this, the D7th bit. If D7 bit is 1, this is 1. So this is how we get the flag status after this operation. So that's all for this session. In the next session we will see some instructions of 8085, the classification of 8085 instructions. Thanks for watching.